chat up. It's always something I forget. All right. I was at, if you've ever been to Natural Product Expo West, it's an enormous conference every year down in Anaheim. And I've just made it a habit to get to that over the last 5 years. And I was down there last year and I had a client down there. So I went and said hello and met with her. And she was an executive at a enormous, skyrocketed organization. They were not big 2 years ago, and they just exploded. And I looked at her, and she just said, "I'm done. I'm wiped." See, what happened was there, and when I said she won because they were skyrocketing. They were just on a rocket ship to success. Revenue was exploding. Their the amount of so, product that was being purchased, a lot of people that were promoting it, affiliates was just, I mean, on essence, on the scoreboard, they had won, and that was the problem. And what happened was someone went viral on TikTok, and by doing it, it just demand exploded overnight, and their supply chain got crushed. They were not prepared for it, and so she just went in with her team for about 8 solid months and just said, we're gonna write this. We're gonna get our supply chain up to speed. We're gonna, get our marketing out there, continue to lean into uh, user generated content. And they were just, I mean, not even hitting every number. They were through the roof with every number they were hitting. And that's where I saw her at that moment where she's just like, we won and I'm done. I can't do this again. I'm exhausted. My team is exhausted. And all we've done is just set the bar even higher for us for this next year as an organization. And this is what it looks like when you are winning on the scoreboard, but you lose yourself in the process. You lose your team in the process. They're losing themselves in the process. In fact, Simon Sinek wrote a really good book. If you haven't read it yet, it's called The Infinite Game. But I want to tie some personal sides into this because I've lived both sides of this. I've played the finite game. I've played the infinite game. And what the finite game does, and especially coming from the athletic space, this is something that if you've been an athlete before, you know this game. There's a winner and a loser. And you look at the scoreboard and that dictates and tells you who won and who lost. The challenge is we cannot control the scoreboard. And so we get addicted to this scoreboard because it begins to tell us a bit of information we think about ourselves. We attach our identity, our self-worth to that scoreboard, a winner and a loser. So if the scoreboard shows that we won, I feel good about myself. If it shows that we lost, I don't feel good about myself. And so most leaders are playing this finite game with their careers, with their teams. They're so focused on the scoreboard, winning the quarter, winning this month, hitting those quotas, having the best year ever, setting the bar even higher. And their teams are like, yo, we just did what? This year? What's up, y'all? Hey, thanks for joining. Appreciate you being here. We just did what this year? And you want us to go even higher? And that's why a lot of people end up leaving. They end up checking out. They're going on cruise control because they're just like, what are we even able to accomplish here? And so what happens is the game that we're playing, the blood is in the water. Competitors they're slashing their prices, so you got to meet that, and or someone goes viral and just wrecks your supply chain. So what happens is we as leaders attach our identity and our self-worth to the scoreboard, and the scoreboard is not something we can control. We can't control that. And so it's not like will we get burned out or will we be overwhelmed? It's just a matter of time, man. It's going to happen. So let me break this out. And boy, I want to take a shot here. I have not tried this before, but we'll see if it shows up backwards or it's on my screen. It's backwards. I don't know if you all can see it, but what's up, y'all? Appreciate it. Yeah, constant growth is ruining it. Shareholder value, especially the big companies, right? We're uh, we're trying to focus on shareholder value, but we're forgetting about our people. And actually, Simon Sinek does a really good job of, and he brings some sports analogies into this book. Uh, but he says, it's like, hey, we're going to make the fans the most important thing over our players, without our organization. And so what happens is when we attach our self-worth or identity, we develop this lens by which we see the world. Leaders do. And it's in this finite game. And so that everything we view through that lens is based on the finite game, one in which we cannot control. And so they don't even realize they're playing this game because it's how they were brought up. It's how they grew in their career. It's how they learned to start a business. Now how they're running their business. It's just the lens. It's like if you're wearing a set of glasses that are blue tinted, you don't realize that there are other colors out there or other contrasts until you take them off and you're like, oh, really? That's what it looks like? That's what's possible? And so that's why I feel like a lot of leaders get stuck in this. I know because I came from the athletic space. I was playing a finite game in a infinite world. And so I just was wondering, like, why am I still struggling? Why am I constantly hitting roadblocks? Why am I continuously hitting not necessarily burnout, like catastrophic losses? I appreciate it. Thanks. Appreciate the sub, Cooper 9937. Appreciate it. Yeah, it's so we got to be able to recognize. Awareness is the key. That's the first one. So we got to read the game. We got to become aware of what game we're playing and what's even out there. So if the scoreboard, and this is the one I like to propose with leaders, it's like, look, if the scoreboard went away, the numbers, shareholder value, your quotas, the numbers, having your best year, if all those went away, what are you competing for? What are you in the game for? And if the answer is nothing, well, you're playing a finite game. And so, that executive that I met at this conference, she was like, yeah, I've got no floor. Like there is no, it's either we hitting this or not. The goal was the number. The number got hit. They did it. It wasn't like we're popping bottles because we feel so fulfilled that this is sustainable. That's not why they were popping bottles. They were celebrating the number, and then they were turning their backs and going, oh my God, I can't do this again. And so I want you to ask yourself right now, what is the scoreboard really doing for you? Because the truth is, the scoreboard, it's just feedback. That's all it is. It's just feedback. Are you listening to the feedback? So the second phase of this is to change. That says change, whether you can see it or not. And this is the new game. And so we want to stop competing against the scoreboard. We can't control it. And start competing against you, and more specifically, your standard. And really, there's only three things we can't control: our attitude, our effort, and our response. That's it. That's all we can control. So we want to compete against our own standards. And here's what the challenge is with leaders. When they're looking through that blue lens, the lens of a finite game, guess who else is looking through that lens? Their teams. Because their teams are following what you're modeling. And if everything is, we got to hit these numbers and we got to get this revenue, we got to hit these quotas, and we need more dials, and we need more appointments set and more closings, and we need more affiliates. And if it's just more and more and more, we're trying to get everything squeezed out of that individual. That again, burnout is inevitable. It's not a matter of if, but when. It's coming. It's not sustainable. That's not an infinite game that we're playing. So we want to focus back on that which we can control, but what it requires is looking in the mirror. Because the current results that you're experiencing are a reflection of you. And if your team isn't performing, isn't hitting the numbers and his, all those things. That's a reflection of you, and more specifically, the game that you might be playing. So the new game really it's not easy, but it's simple. And setting your standard by which how you want to show up. And in this infinite game where it's not about the outcomes because we can't control them, but the infinite game is about me. At what level can I continue to grow and evolve? How can I create a standard that is sustainable? Which means I'm not going to sacrifice my health and well being just to hit these numbers. I'm not going to sacrifice integrity just to hit these numbers. I'm not going to crush my team just to win on the scoreboard. But Cletus, we got to make more money. We got to drive revenue. We got shareholders to answer to. Exactly. It's like I used to, in my early days of speaking, I'd go in and talk to athletic teams. That's where I cut my teeth. I was talking to sports teams. And what I would do was I would have a similar conversation with the head coaches of FBS Division One collegiate programs about playing the infinite game. And they'd always come back to me and say, yeah, but Cletus, we got to win. My job is based on us winning. Exactly. You win the infinite game. And guess what? The scoreboard will take care of itself. You follow me? So, are you in it to just win this game? Are you in it to win this season? Or are you to create a legacy here at this school? And that was talking to coaches, or within this organization, or in your career. Are you in this for the long haul? Or are you just trying to win right now? Because that win at all costs mentality, that's burned a lot of people. Talking about burning out, but it's burned a lot of companies, it's burned a lot of teams. So the win at all cost mentality, yeah, you get some quick wins on that scoreboard, but in the long run, it's destructive. It's debilitating because now I'm leading from a place of my self-worth, my identity is tied to the scoreboard, and we're not winning on the scoreboard. And so my team's effort, man, they're making I'm looking bad. I'm not feeling good. I'm angry. I'm frustrated because it's a reflection of me. And now I'm leading from that place. Man, that's a bad place. And when leaders lead from that place because they're yelling, they're screaming, they're demeaning, they're firing people, they're constantly pissed off. And it's because they're leading from the fact that they're feeling wounded. They're feeling that their self-worth is low. They're feeling that they're not good or good enough. So, man, it's a snowball effect when you're trying to play that finite game in an infinite world. So we want to stop chasing that score, competing against your standard, competing against what you're capable of, and recognizing the blind spots that exist. Because that's where we go to the third game and final, which is to own it. It says own. And once you see the blind spot that, oh, maybe I am showing up from a place of lacking of integrity or just to win, or maybe I am pushing my team to a level of burnout and exhaustion because we're just trying to win this quarter. Once you see that and become aware of it, you have to own it. Now it's on you, leader. You can't blame the market. You can't blame your customers. You can't play the victim ever. But I don't hold you accountable if you're not aware of it. You can't see your blind spot. But once you see it, yes, I'm looking at you. You now own it. You're responsible. So that is the third phase of it, is now you got to own it. Now you got to read the feedback that you're getting from your team, that you're getting from the scoreboard, and not take it on because you can't control that. But how is my standard showing up? How am I showing up as a leader in this moment? Am I playing just to win? Or am I playing a sustainable game here? Am I in this for the long run? And you can point to some organizations that play the, the finite game, and they probably have had some tremendous wins, but um, they lose good people. The culture is a wreck. They, are supporting their shareholders, but people aren't wanting to work there. You can name it, or work for those leaders, or those leaders are ousted. So anyway, finite game, infinite game, just talks really near and dear to me. Because of coming from an athletic background, I read Simon Sinek's book, and I just think that, or at least understanding these concepts uh, have been really beneficial to me as a leader in both in my business and in my personal life. So, 3 moves: read it, change it, and then own it. Once you can own it, once you see that blind spot. All right, my friends, if I can be of some more support, by all means, smash that subscribe button and or DM me. I'm here. How can I be of service? Let me know. Catch you guys next time.